Hey everybody, I'm Jennifer Joy Hewitt. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be utilizing the Pilates bar unit right back here behind me. All we're going to need is a yoga mat, so go ahead and place your yoga mat down on the floor. Always line it up centered with your unit so that you know where center is, that when you're facing away from your springs, you can look down and see that you are centered. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Jennifer Joy Hewitt, the creator of Jen Shui and the creator of this Pilates bar unit you see behind me back here. I have created this as something convenient for my clients and for myself. I've been moving a lot, it seems, in the last 10 years, moved my studios around. This is very easy. It can be placed on a wall and easily taken off a wall. And so we're going to utilize the arm springs and the leg springs today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's bring our back towards the wall. Open our feet about hip distance apart. Okay, we're just going to take a big bend with our knees and inhale, reach up. Bring the fingertips to touch. And exhale, press away, keeping the shoulders rolled down and back. Just gaze down, chin down. And let's do that again. Inhale, breathing in through the nose, out through your mouth. Gazing down, shoulders down and back, soft knees. One more time, inhale up. And exhale and press away. Gazing down, shoulders are down and back. Now just inhale, raise the shoulder blades up. Exhale, slide them back and down. Inhale up by your ears, create some tension. Exhale, let it go. Two more, inhale up. Exhale, drop them back and down and away. And one more time, inhale up. And exhale, back, down and away. Let's inhale back up, clasp the hands together. Squeeze the side of the head, come up and over to your right side. We're gonna lift up through the center as we inhale and exhale over to the other side. Grounding both feet into the floor nice and evenly. Inhale up and arms down. We're gonna soften our knees. I'm gonna face side to you. We're gonna curl down as if we're rolling down a wall, one vertebrae at a time, all the way down towards the floor. Take an inhale here. Now, engaging the lower abdominals, pulling them up and in towards your spine. You're gonna roll up as if you were rolling up a wall, one vertebrae at a time, lifting until your chest is lifted and you're in your best posture up here. Inhale here. Soften your knees. Start from the head, the neck, the upper back, the mid back. The belly button is in. Go all the way down, dangling down. Take an inhale. Exhale, rolling up, tuck your chin, nice and tall, one vertebrae at a time, lifting, 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 shoulders over hips to a neutral position. One more time, exhale, curling forward. Now I want you to continue to breathe. So if you run out of breath, don't just stop breathing, keep breathing, okay? That's one of the most important things is that you stay connected to your body through your breath. Okay, if all you did was breathe here today, then you'd be successful. Okay, so now from here, we're gonna keep our shoulders over our hips in everything that we do, pretty much. We're gonna keep a neutral spine, which means your best posture, you have a natural curve in your back. We're not gonna work tucked, we're not gonna work arch, we're neutral most of the time. We're breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth as if you're blowing out a candle or blowing through a straw. You're gonna stay lifted up through the lower abdominals, and as you breathe, you inhale, expand the ribs. You exhale, you let the ribs sew together. Inhale, the ribs expand. Exhale, the ribs close. One way you can feel that is by placing your hands here. So place your thumbs to the back of the rib cage, the other fingers in the front, and as you inhale, you'll feel your ribs expand outward. Take an inhale. Exhale, you're gonna just let the ribs close or purposely sew them together. Imagine them sewing together. Okay, so that is your engagement of the upper abdominals when you open the ribs and close the ribs. In the meantime, while you're opening and closing the ribs, the belly button or the lower abdominals, I always say belly button, but really what I mean is lower abdominals in this whole entire section below the waist is nice and pulled in. So as I'm talking to you, as I'm walking around, I'm engaged slightly, I'm lifted, always pulled in, okay? So let's turn around and face our bar. Center your body. You can see in the mirror that I'm going to place my hands gently on the bar. We're just gonna work through our feet, okay? So shoulders down and back. I want you to bring your right heel up. Raise up on your tippy toes, left heel. And we're just gonna switch and work through your feet. So you wanna make sure that you're wearing socks or that you're barefoot, something where you can really articulate through your whole entire foot. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1. And just bring the feet together. Bend your knees, heels down, straighten your legs, raise up, keep your heels together. Keep the heel pads together. And if you do have shoes on, keep the heel of your shoes together. Okay, let's do that again. Bend your knees, keep your heels on the floor, straighten the legs, raise up and down. Just do that 2 more times. Bend, we're just warming up here. Straighten, raise up. Really important to keep the feet and ankles and calves nice and strong. And releve up and down. Lift your right foot off. I want you to circle the foot 4 times. 3, lifting tall, 2, 1, reverse it, 4. Big circle with your toes, grip and spread your toes. And 1 more time. And bring this leg back for a nice calf stretch. Shoulders down and back. Gently stretching. If you've already been on a hike or a walk, I've already worked out, you can stretch a little bit further, but if this is your first workout of the day, then ease into it. Let's bring the feet together. Left foot up, let's circle the ankle, 4. Lifting tall, 3. Every once in a while, check your balance here. 1, and reverse, 4, 3. The bar is just for balance. 2, 1, and bring that foot back. You can gently press away from your bar if you'd like. Keep your shoulders down and back. In every position that we're in, we're always aware of our posture, the best posture that we can hold. Breathe, and let's step together. Okay, we're gonna grab our arm springs. Okay, those are the ones with the triangle handle. Okay, yellow attachments. Here we go. Facing our bar, center your body, feet together, shoulders over hips, a little softness in your bit, or a little bend in your knees. Inhale here. We're gonna exhale, press straight back. Inhale. Exhale, hold. Inhale, scrape the floor. And we're at 4. We're gonna work up to 10 in each exercise. And 5. My chest is lifted. And 6, you're feeling your triceps. You're feeling your lats. 7, your abdominals are opening and closing, your upper abdominals. And 8. I may have lost count. 9. We might be doing an extra one, extra credit. And 10. Good, stand tall, little bit of tension, pressing back into your springs. Roll your shoulders down and back. I want you to do 10 calf raises in a row. Ready? 1. 3, keep your heels together. 4, pressing back into your springs slightly. 5, roll your shoulders back. 6, 7, your collarbones are wide. 8, your stomach is lifted. 9, there's a lot of energy going on here. 10, and relax the arms. Very good. Roll your shoulders down and back. I want you to scoot back, open the legs, toes are out to the side, knees are gonna be over your toes. When you bend your knees here, like this, your knees are always over your toes and your weight is into your heels. So open your heels to the outside edge if you can, or close to the edge, the inside edge of your mat. Okay, we're going to row here. So you're gonna play around with your tension. Your arms start straight but not locked. Your shoulders are down. Inhale here. Exhale, you're gonna pull back. Inhale, straighten the arms as you straighten your legs. So you're squatting down. Inhale up. As you flow the arms in and back, straighten it. Okay, here we go. Let's say that was 1. Let's count 2. Now you might not be bending your knees as deep. You might just be going here. 3. Use your breath. 4. That's how you know how fast to go, by breathing. 5. So if you're breathing fast, you must be moving fast. 6. Now I'm going to bend my knees even more. I want to work my legs a little bit more. 7. Shoulder blades down and back. 8. Pull your fists right next to your body. 9. Look down, make sure they're even. One more time, stomach's lifted as you come down. So you are stretching your legs as you were working. All these exercises create length and stretch in the body as you strengthen. Okay, now we're gonna do bicep curls, keeping your elbows nice and lifted. Here as we curl and touch our fingertips, actually touch the fingertips to the shoulder and come out here. So we wanna be able to keep our arms up with our shoulders back and down, none of this happening. Roll the shoulders back and down. It's like an exaggerated lift. Okay, if you're a performer, you know what I mean. Okay, when you're on stage, there's a presence here. It's a lift, it's an opening, your heart space, your heart chakra is open. You're lifted, okay? You're lifted through the body. So you're trying to stay in this lifted position as you are going to bicep curl, okay? Center your body, bring your feet together. I'm gonna slightly lean back. I'm gonna do a little test run here. I need to see where I need to be. So if you're a beginner, which most likely you are, you're going to need to play around with where you need to be. Find your balance, okay? It might take you a few tries before you can figure out where you need to be, where you can hold your arms, and how you can move and create flow in the exercise. This is a practice, okay? This is just a practice. So all of these exercises can be done as a beginner or as a super advanced practice, okay? So we're gonna start out here, shoulders down and back, feet are together. We're gonna squat down into our imaginary chair behind us and inhale, lengthen, come up. Ready? Count to 10. We're gonna go 1. Inhale up. Exhale, 2. I'm sitting back into my heels. I'm imagining there's a chair behind me. 3. Exhale, 4. 5. Looks like I have a delivery. 6. And that's what happens when you work out in your garage. 7. 8. You got it. 9. And one more time. 10. Straighten your arms. Walk forward. I want you to turn around now. Center your body. Okay, so find your center mark on your mat. Get right in the middle of your mat. Okay, you're gonna hold on to your springs, your handles, and you're just gonna walk forward. Bring your arms out to the side. Okay, and just until you get like a stretch through your biceps a little bit, as if you're in a doorway. And let's lean to one side. Now I'm softening my knees here. I'm not just locked. Okay, I'm lengthening. My neck is soft. I'm just gazing down. Breathing. I'm going to switch to the other side. Nice and long. Open up. Remember that presence that I talked about in the chest? An open heart. Okay. Now, this one's called hug the tree. When we face this direction, we have to lean forward slightly as if we're skiing. So if you can see me in the mirror, I'm gonna be leaning slightly forward. My weight is forward on the balls of my feet. We're gonna open the arms, lengthen it out, draw the shoulder blades down, stomach lifted. We're gonna exhale, curl, or hug our tree, and inhale as you open. Now, the springs felt a little light to me, so I'm gonna walk my body forward a little bit more, like an inch, and then try it again. Now, the trick here is to find your balance. You want to be able to keep your body nice and still as you come forward. I don't want to see you rock back I don't want to hear your springs, and then rock forward. That's pointless. Okay, the point is to ground your body, figure out where you are, exhale and inhale. You want to keep tension in your springs so when you open, you don't ever want to let it come in and sink or make noise. Okay, so let's do 10. We're going to exhale 1 and 2 and shoulders are down and back. 4. Now my arms are long, so I'm stretching, but I'm not locked. My elbows are never locked. I think this is 7, and I was making noise there. There's always something to think about. 8, and even though I've been doing this for years, there's always something. 9. That's what keeps it interesting though. 10, otherwise I would go crazy. Okay, so stay right where you were. All I did was keep that tension, come in towards my temples, and this is called salutes. We're gonna exhale, press, touch your fingertips together, inhale, come in. Now, if this feels like, there's not enough tension for me, there's not enough range of motion, scoot forward. Now again, I'm still leaning forward as if I'm downhill skiing, okay? My tailbone is not sticking behind me. I'm just neutral, but I'm leaning forward. Keep going. Exhale as you press. Inhale, open those elbows wide. So we're working on our flexibility in our shoulders. Exhale, press. Inhale in. Now keep going. Let's do about 4 more. I just wanted to show you from the side angle that you're leaning forward. See, my body is one long line when I straighten my arms. From the fingertips down towards your heels, okay? You're leaning into it. Let's do exhale, 2 and 1. You should be feeling this. So it's not that the weight or the springs need to be heavier. It's more about what can I do to find my center of gravity? What can I do to engage my core a little bit more? Okay, so let's do one more exercise with these springs facing this direction. So center your body if you moved around like I did. Now, we had our hands here, but now we're gonna flip them around. Did you see how I did that? Sometimes that takes my clients years to just learn how to do that. If you can't do that, then just take your hand out, take your hand and readjust it that way, okay? So this one's called punching. So we're gonna start about chest level. We're leaning into it. We've got our ski boots on. We're going downhill skiing, shoulders down and back, stomach's in. We're not tucking our tailbone under. We're always neutral. We're gonna exhale, press. Inhale, open. Okay, again, if your springs or your tension is too tight, scoot back. If it's not tight enough, you want more, you want it to be harder, bring your feet forward. Exhale and inhale. And drawing your shoulder blades down. Can you see how I'm in the best posture that I possibly can do in the moment right now? Okay, exhale, shoulders down away from your ears. Your neck is free to move around. You're lengthening through the arms. You're lifting through your body. Let's do 3. I lost count. Exhale, 2. Our goal is 10. And 1. Good, now let's go into single arms, okay? So you're gonna go right and left. Let's go right and exhale left. And we go right and we go left. Now, we're gonna lift our opposite foot off the floor. Bring it down. Exhale, opposite. Now we're not leaning forward or slouching. Exhale, lift from your core. Inhale, bring the feet together. So you need to feel where you are in space. Bring your feet to touch. If you need to look down to check it out, go ahead and do that, especially because you don't have anybody there to correct you right now. So you do the best you can, feeling where you are in space. Lengthening the arm all the way. I want to take a picture of you out there. And let's go 4. Keeping your shoulders and hips square. 3. Opposite. 2. So this is something to work on if this is really difficult for you. 1. And very good. Let your springs come down. Just grab your hands, stretch this way, this way. And you can do this throughout the day, anytime. I think we kind of forget to stretch our hands and our arms sometimes. And you want to keep your arms nice and straight on this one. It's kind of, I guess you could bend it. You play around with it. Play around with what feels best to you, okay? Good. And let's just reach out. Spread your hands, spread your fingers. Rotate, 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 rotate. Open, close. You feel stretch, reach across the room, further. And 2, and 1. Now, slide the hands behind the head. All I want you to do is open the elbows. Pulse, pulse. But I'm keeping my rib cage in and closed. So let's pulse again. And let's go 5 more. 1. We move shoulder blades together. 2, work on your posture. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, good job. Okay, that was enough for the arms. Now we're gonna lie down on our back. We're gonna work our legs. We're gonna put our feet in the leg springs. Hopefully you can see me really well. So we're going to come down, center your body on your mat, okay, because you already set your mat down nice and centered. Then you're gonna go ahead and lie down on your back. Definitely want a padded mat for this. Center your body, grab your purple leg springs, put your feet in the straps. Now, in this position, you want to keep your hands pressing away from the wall above your head. Your head is about 1 inch away from the wall as a beginner. As you get stronger and you want more tension, you can wiggle yourself away from the wall. I suggest that you start pretty close. You press your hands into the wall, you keep your elbows open, your ribs down, your belly button in, and your tailbone down at all times. We're gonna keep our core nice and strong, and we're gonna press slightly away from the wall so that our body doesn't slide back and hit the wall. Okay, so from here, feet are together, our knees are soft. We're gonna inhale as our preparation. Exhale as we pull. We're not gonna touch the floor. Okay, so we're gonna stay a few inches off the floor. You can even gaze up for a minute. Inhale up, we're gonna do 10. Okay, so let's count. 1, keep the feet together. It's not a foot exercise. 2, we're gonna start to feel this a lot in our inner thighs and our hamstrings. 3, this is great stretching and strengthening at the same time. 4, as our legs go up and down, our pelvis stays nice and still. 5, you could balance a cup of water or a hot cup of coffee below your belly button, between your pubic bone and your belly button, okay? So you're not gonna be tilting your lower abdominals back and forth. And let's do 3 more. I lost count. It's hard for me to count and talk at the same time. I've been working on that for years. 2, and 1. Now we're gonna go right into a circle. Bring those legs up. Inhale, soften your knees, and you're gonna circle around. You're gonna bring your feet back together. So when you come up, I don't wanna hear you lose your tension, ever. Okay, it was the same thing with the arms, same thing with the legs. So we're gonna circle around, heels and toes together, and up. And around, and exhale up. And focus on your breath as you start to really feel it. I think that was 5. Let's count this. 6, arms pressing away from the wall slightly. 7, so that you don't slide. 8, our feet are neutral. We're not flexing or pointing. 9, it's more about the inner thighs and hamstrings. 10, we're going to reverse. Inhale here. Exhale, pull down, separate and come around. Our legs stay parallel from the hip. 2, if at any time you want to look up and make sure that check yourself out. 3, that's always a good idea. 4. Don't forget your stomach is still pulling down slightly. There's always an engagement awareness. 5. 6. The ribs close and open as you inhale and exhale. 7. 8. You can do it. Even your arms might be getting tired. 9. Or your calves might be starting to try to take over. And 10. Okay. Go ahead and scoot away from the wall a little bit. If you've started to slide away, relax your arms down. Now it is okay to bring your arms down next to your body like this with your shoulders back, as long as you're not going to be sliding anywhere, okay? So it kind of depends on what you're wearing, what kind of mat you have, what kind of floor you're on. So now we're going to go from here. We're going to go right leg and left leg. Think of this as scissors. Keep tension in the top leg. It's really easy to lose tension. Now my kneecaps are always soft. My leg is as straight as I can get it without tightening my quad or my kneecap. Now, if you start to slide, bring your hands back up, okay? But bringing your arms down at your sides is always an option. Now I am gently touching my one heel to the floor. And if I were to look up, I would see that I'm touching, if I had a center tape mark or a stick going down the center of my body, I'd be touching my heel right onto that straight line. And I'm totally not counting, but it is burning in my hamstrings. So let's do one more in each leg. Inhale and exhale. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Okay, very good. I'm going to scoot away from my wall a little bit because it's normal to kind of start to scooch back on accident. Okay, so we're going to go into a frog position. So that means your feet, or first position if you're a dancer, feet are turned out. Now your turnout might be here, okay? I spent years dancing, so I'm able to turn out pretty wide and I have flexible hips. Okay, but basically you're gonna inhale, bend your knees, keep your heels glued together, glued. They're gonna wanna pop apart and wiggle around. Push them together as if you have a quarter between your heels. Exhale, press out at the same level. Zip all the light out from your legs, keeping the heels together, yes. Inhale, bend and smooth. Every movement flows. Exhale out into the next. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And again, I forgot to count. I'm a feeler, so I feel more than count. I always have. When I was dancing, I used to listen to the music and of course hear the tempo, but I wouldn't count necessarily. I would just hear and know and feel. So I listen to my body when I'm doing this on my own, but let's do 2 more because I think we've got to be close to 10 or more. We've done extra. Now hold it out there. Zip, zip, zip through the inner thighs. Now you're going to open, stretch, 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 and then flex your feet. Bring those heels together. 10 times. Inhale out. Exhale. Soften your shoulders. Soften your neck. Inhale out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale. Inhale out. I'm pointing my feet and I'm flexing my feet. There's no light between those legs. You should be feeling this in your inner thighs a lot. Let's do 5 more. Inhale out. Exhale, squeeze it in. So when I'm looking at my legs, when I'm looking up, as if I see my legs going straight out, I'm looking out. I'm at the beach looking at the sunset. I'm looking at the horizon, the water. I'm going out on the same straight line and in. Let's do 2 more. Inhale out, exhale in. Boy, I feel this a lot. Inhale out and exhale in. Get those heels together, zip through the inner thighs, soften your kneecaps, stomach in, shoulders down, and relax. Okay, we're gonna stretch our hamstrings, okay? These leg springs are incredible for the hamstrings, the backs of the legs and the inner thighs. There's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Okay, so let's stretch. One leg comes towards you. You can grab your spring. And if your knees are bent, that's fine. You can even bend one leg and just stretch the top. Hold and breathe for as long as you feel like you need to. Sometimes I'll work through my foot. I'll point and flex. But then you'll switch legs, of course. You always want to stay even. Okay, so we worked our arms and our legs, and our core is always working. Let's bring both legs up. And that's gonna be it for today. When I work out, it doesn't need to be a full entire hour, okay? We have busy lives. We do a little bit each day, and that is enough. As long as you do the best you can, let's bring your legs out to the side one at a time. And now you can let your legs float. You don't have to pull your springs. If that's enough stretch for you, then great, but I don't feel much, so I pull down. Okay, and then we're gonna do a side split. Okay, so stretch those legs. Hold it as long as you feel like you need to. Breathe. I mean, you might stay here for even 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take my feet out. Okay, hug your legs in. You guys did a great job staying in the moment. Roll to your side to come up. And very good. Let's open the legs about hip distance apart or shoulder width apart. Flex your feet. Slide the hands up. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Okay, so there's so much more we can do here, but today, this is enough. Okay, this is something you can repeat every day for the rest of your life if you'd like, okay? I suggest that you play music, make it fun for you and for yourself, and just really enjoy the practice. And some days you can go quicker, some days you'll go slower, but thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.